If you're in a healthy relationship with a man, can you stitch this video and talk about?
Brittany, I've got you, girl. Hold on. So, from one Brittany to another, I have some things I'd love to share with you, especially from my own personal experience and being a relationship coach and a dating expert and all these things, and also for being married to a wonderful man for the last 3 years and together for 7. So, first off, I just want to say that I come from a family system. While I love my parents, it was a little bit toxic growing up. It was a little bit of codependency, a little bit of narcissism. And so I just kind of grew up thinking that chaos, push pull, hot cold was normal. You feel me? So I say all of this because if it could happen for me, it can absolutely happen for you, I promise. And there's just some things that you may need to shift around in order to start attracting the right people. What I love about, the woman I'm stitching this with, this other Brittany, what she said about believing in love and really still wanting it, even if she's had these experiences, as well as her knowing that she needed to change her algorithm to actually incorporate healthy relationships and all these things. So expansive, so wonderful. Kudos to you, girl, for doing this and getting this started. So I'll share 3 things that changed the game for me, and I hope that it actually really supports you and helps you, figure out your own plan forward to attracting the love of your life and a wonderful husband like I was able to attract for myself. So the first thing I would say is just like set better boundaries with yourself. And boundaries are not necessarily about like, well, here they are, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I say, but it's about implementing them. And I would say that a lot of women who I end up working with, and obviously just like if you're here watching this, you're probably a really good woman, a woman who has a lot of empathy, a nurturer, a caring person. And so sometimes setting boundaries feel makes you feel guilty and it feels hard and you don't want to tell someone no, and that's kind of also contributing to the cycle that you may find yourself in with these like toxic people who you overlook the red flags or you overlook certain behaviors and patterns for the sake of their humanity. And I need you to stop that. I'm giving you permission to set boundaries and to keep them because you deserve to. It is okay for you to. You're not going to lose anybody you're really meant to be with by setting a boundary. I promise you that. Okay, the next thing that I did was I created a list. And yes, I know you've heard about these lists and creating a list and whatever. But the difference with the list that I created this time versus the ones I've created before is that I actually put feeling on it. It wasn't just about who I wanted them to be or how I wanted them to look, but how did I want to feel in my partnership? That was such a game changer for me because I could tell what my feelings were, right? I maybe be able to overlook or to misinterpret maybe a characteristic that I think that they have. But would I misinterpret my feelings? I don't know, especially if I'm like really connected to them. So if anybody, like I wanted to feel safe, I wanted to feel cherished, I wanted to feel respected. And that was a super very it was such an important component to this process and changing the way that I was seeking partners. Oh, and another thing about this is that the list didn't come like immediately. It came over time. So there was nothing like when you see your list and you're like, oh my God, they meet everything on my list. I want you to watch out for love bombing, okay? That might be a love bomber right there. You may be interacting with a narcissist. Your list should be checked off like little by little over the period of time where you are like really getting to know the heart of someone. And that's what was different with me meeting my husband is like, oh my gosh, like he was just checking off these boxes and I didn't even realize that like I could experience the magnitude of this. It just felt different. It felt like home. And then last, I'll say the most important component, the thing that changed the game, was really healing my inner child and doing that inner work that, basically what I was conditioned to do was to seek out partners with a little bit of chaos in the component of the partnership or to sabotage or self-sabotage. And it's an ongoing process, but it's super important to do the inner child work or the inner healing because if you have patterns and conditions that you are used to experiencing, it is a natural inclination to put yourself in similar situations with the hopes that you will finally eventually like heal them from the inside out. But I don't think you want to go through the toxic bullshit anymore. So like do that inner child healing work. And that's really where what I do now for the women that I serve. I help them heal that like component of them that was used to or thinks this is normal, so that they can actually attract the right frequency, attract the right aligned partnership for them, because they are different from the inside out. And you just have different results that way. I mean, that is the thing. My husband is here because I decided to be different. I decided to choose differently. I decided to know who I was to a different level, a different standard for myself. And then he showed up. And because he showed up and because I was different, I recognized him. And that is alignment. So I hope this helps you. I hope this serves you. And if you think that I could support you, leave me a message, comment below, or click the link in my bio, and like, let's have a chit chat over the phone and see if we're a good fit.